All right, we're here with Coach Owens after a 73-67 overtime win over Wright State. Coach, your opening statement.
Well, first of all, I'm happy with the way the guys competed. I thought we got a lead there. And in the second half, the first 4 or 5 minutes, they kind of took it to us where we talked about how important it was. But at the end of the day, when we get a lead, we just have to stay within ourselves. But I like our guys' fight right now. They're definitely competing, and I thought overall we did a good job. And Ringo, obviously, to make those pressure free throws, and Rod hit those threes in the second half. Everybody contribute. I think it's a sign of a good team. On any given night, someone can lead us in scoring, someone can lead us in rebounding. But the one thing that stood out that I talked to the guys about was the rebounding. They're a good rebounding team, but I didn't expect us to get out-rebounded tonight. I thought we could handle that. But when you look at our stats and you see like what Ringo did, 10 points, 10 assists, and 2 turnovers, that's unbelievable for a point guard. I was a point guard. I never did that. But I'm just happy overall with the guys' effort. That's where we're at.
All right. Open it up for questions.
What does it do to have a guy like Ringo out there leading the team, especially as on a young team like this one?
It's great because, you know what, Ringo's a very competitive kid. He wants to win. The one thing I talked to him about first when we signed him, I knew we would be in this position. I didn't know the second game of the year, but I said, man, if you can make free throws and you can make right decisions, I'm going to have the ball in your hand a lot. But you got to be able to make free throws down the stretch in the end games, and that's what he did. But he's a big-time defender. He has unbelievable quickness where he can break the defense down. We ran a few things because they were playing off of him, but if he gets an angle, he still can get to the rim. So we wanted him to stay in attack mode, and that last play was for him to get that seam drive, and he got fouled, and he made those free throws. But I just I'm happy with him because he was able to do that, and that's some of the things that we've been talking to him about because he gives me everything he's gotten on the defensive end.
They seem to think that one of the decisive factors was the fact that Wright State was playing on the road. This was your home game, and that proved to be a key difference. Did you feel that way?
Well, I just knew that I know they're a well-coached team. What they did tonight is what I saw on film, last year. Our thing was last year, talking about Miami, they got in a hole. Then the second half, Miami came roaring back, and they had a chance at the end last year, but the deficit was too big. They couldn't overcome it. So the one thing I talk about with our guys always is do your job. Do your job. That's one thing that our program hang our hats on. And when we had that lead, I told them, hey, you can't play with house money, basically. We got to stick to what we're doing and just continue to chip away. Bam had an open three. He took a dribble and tried to play make. That's not what he does. Rod had a play in transition where he put his head down. And, instead of just moving the basketball, because what they do is they pack it in. They're a great help side defensive team, but if you move them side to side, you can open them up a little bit. And our motion was doing that, and we were able to create some things. But I tell you what, home or away, this was going to be a dogfight because they're a well-coached team.
Right, state coach was mentioning that right now they're a little bit on the short end of the depth. As far as your own team, does this look like a squad that's going to have the depth, and if so, is that going to be something that's going to help you, say, on the defensive end where they can really lay it all out?
Absolutely. I believe any given night we can have a different scorer and rebounder lead this team. But I believe we can go 9, 10 deep and don't miss a beat. I feel good about taking a guy out. I think we're too deep at each spot for the most part. But I have a young team. When you're starting, young guys, 3 freshmen and a new point guard just now joining the team and a new staff, there's going to be a learning curve. But the one thing we talk about is just competing at a high level.
A little bit off the game topic here, but what happened to Harper?
Pardon me?
What happened to Darius?
You know what? I really don't know. I just know I was told he was fine doing shoot around, and then I go in and talk to the team. I always talk to the team an hour before tip off. They told me Darius is a no-go today. I think he rolled his ankle in warm-up or something. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Newcomers all did a great job for you, but I know I've talked to you before about the returnees really contributing. Logan was in foul trouble much of the second half, contributed, but Rod Mills down the stretch steps up and makes 2 big threes for you.
Rod was big time. We ran a play for Rod to start the overtime, where we had some false action going to the right, and we wanted that pin down, hoping because they're a solid defensive team, they pack it in. So when you go to the right and you have action going on here, that guy might fall asleep because we had our big guy diving, and that's exactly what happened. Nike pinned down for Rod for a wide open three. Then we run the same play, probably a trip or two later. We get the same thing. The play wasn't as clean, but everybody went with Ringo. We were able to hit Rod for another three. But I tell you what, Rod's been in at the last two games. He finished the game. I tell the guys, don't worry about who's starting or however it looks. Just worry about Miami winning, and all those guys are sticking to it. And you mentioned Logan. I thought his numbers don't stand out. I believe he had 6 points and 8 rebounds. But I tell you what, Love is a load. I'm telling you, he's a big guy, and Logan did a great job fighting him, and we didn't help him a few times, and Love was able to get some angles. But I'm happy with their effort. I'm telling you what, Logan fought that guy, and he got some rebound late, and we were able to get it to Ringo in transition a few times. Hats off to them, man. They're competing. That's all I can ask for.
Hit kind of a dry spell offensively in the second half for a while, and they were able to move ahead. It seemed like when they got the lead, that they coincidentally seemed to go inside a little bit more. Now, I don't know whether that was just, like I say, coincidental or what, but it seemed like they were getting some points out of that. But they didn't. Miami didn't seem to panic at that time, so I guess that's a credit to them, right?
Right. The guys did a good job. I believe I could have done a better job because I didn't want them to go in the game thinking a lot. So there were certain guys I wanted to play off of. But then at times they can put 4 or 5 guys out there that all can shoot threes. All right. So what they can do is they can put Love on the block and put 4 guys out there that can shoot threes. And then they could put Love on the block and they can add a guy or two in there that can't shoot. So what we talked about was certain guys I want to be able to just freelance and go and trap. But as you know, freshmen, they don't do what they're supposed to all the time, and they ready to get some angles and get some points there.
Any more questions? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
So, Rod, describe your feeling when you saw those first 2 threes go in overtime. It had to be gratifying for you.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I mean, I hadn't made any shots up until that point, but it was just I put a lot of work in, and so I knew that shots were going to fall. And my teammates, kept saying, "Shoot it, Rod. They're going to fall. They're going to," and the coaches put me in positions to score too. So, it was good to see that go in, and then kind of tumbled into the other one going into, and then we were able to just win, by playing hard and everything. So it all worked out well in the end.
A lot of new faces on the team. What did it feel like to be out here for the first time in front of a regular season crowd and see what you got? And related to that, did you gain any confidence coming out of that Fordham game?
Yeah, it was good to have our first game on the road and win against the A10 team. That was a pretty big time for us. We hadn't won a non-conference road game in like 4 years, so that was nice. And then, today we just battled, scrapped it out. It was a hard-fought game. Everyone, did their role, played their part, and we were resilient. And that's something that Coach preaches, every day in practice. Don't give in, when times get tough, just come together. Don't fall apart. And I think that was basically what happened tonight. We didn't give in. We had the lead, then we got down, and we never stopped fighting. So we were able to get the win. So I think that's a good feeling, going 2-0 into going to Jamaica tomorrow. So definitely a good feeling and just a testament to all the hard work we put in thus far and, what Coach has been pounding into us every day.
It kind of looks like defense is going to be an important part of the team this year. Is that something personnel-wise that you guys feel that you're fit for, and has the coach been emphasizing that?
Yes, our coaches, we start practice every day doing defensive stuff, and he really preaches on defense a lot. So, yeah, I have to jam all the time, 94 feet, so it's very tough. But, yeah, Coach Owens, that's what he likes, so that's what we have to do.
Darren, you hit those 2 key free throws to tie the game going into overtime. What was going through your head in that moment?
I just toned everybody out, and I just knew I was going to hit the 2 free throws. I was just confident in myself, and I just knocked him down.
So you hit that, you shoot that three late in overtime there, and it goes in and out. You had to be shaking your head, but then you go down and get the key defensive rebound, get fouled, and sink those 2 free throws. Again, what was going through your mind there, and how satisfying was that for you, especially in a game like that was overtime against a local rival?
It was very satisfying for me, but I would have liked to hit some of those threes. I thought that one for sure was going in, but it just wasn't my night from there. But I'm just happy and proud of my team for we kept competing and we ended up winning. So yeah, I'm just happy.
Nice double-double for you too, 10 points and 10 assists, which is unusual. I'm assuming that's part of your game that you really can bring to this team.
Yes, I'm a pass-first point guard, so I just always pass. My coaches tell me I pass up a lot of layups too much, but I'm just an unselfish guy. So, and I was able to hit some key free throws and layups tonight too, as well.
Rod, I guess I'll have to ask you this. Is this team with the personnel and everything probably going to have a sort of a different personality or maybe better said, a different way of going about things, of attacking and so forth?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think, we just the main thing is we just compete. It's not one man, doing it all. Kind of like Coach said, any different night, anyone can be the leading scorer. So with that, everyone has a different ability that, depending on who we're playing, can really be shown on a given night. So I think the personality, just like everyone can contribute. Doesn't matter if you're starting or coming off the bench. Everyone has a role, and then when we all do our role, good things happen. Like tonight when we won.
Lots of turnovers, especially in the first half for you guys. How do you go about cleaning that up?
I think we only had like 3 in the first half, and then end up with 10 for the game. I think our goal is like 9 turnovers. So I think that was a big part because, in close games, you need to take care of the ball. Possession is key. So I think that's another reason that we won. We were able to get stops late, get defensive rebounds, and then by not turning the ball over, we put ourselves in a position to win the game.
Thank you, guys.